All right, good afternoon. We're starting a little late today, but I like it because that's the way we roll. And I had a lot of stuff to do today, and we're going to have some fun with it. So today we are going to take a look at a property that I just went to go look at. Now, unfortunately, guys, I was lazy about getting any pictures or anything. It was pretty straightforward, and I will explain in just a minute how I got to this. But let me look up this address. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Where did I go? 2307 Mission View. So if you want to do it in Propelio, if you've already got that, great. If not, you can just do this in the MLS and just take a look at it. The reason why I like using Propelio is because unlike the MLS, if it's not listed, it still gets me all the information. Like I can see it's a 3-bedroom, 1 full bath, 1 half bath with 2 garage spaces. That is incorrect. It is a 3-bedroom, 2 bath with a half bath. So it's 2.5. Garage looks right. Number of stories is 2. I will note that all bedrooms are upstairs. Now, the reason why I got this lead, so let's talk about lead generation. This one was very important or very easy for me because this came directly from another broker. Yes, guys, I am friends with people outside of White Line. Okay. There's a reason for that. Okay. The reason why I became a realtor, the reason why I became a broker, the reason why we opened White Line Realty is because Eric and I were investing. That's what we did. We all day, every day. And when you invest, you need lots and lots of data. Okay. So when you need lots and lots of data, you've got to call lots and lots of realtors to say, hey, can you pull me comps? Can you do this? And it just drove me insane because most of these realtors are complete idiots, had no idea what I was trying to accomplish, would just try and set me up on a search, would ask me for pre-qualification letters. And I'm like, guys, I am paying cash. I don't need a survey. Please understand what I'm saying, right? And they never really got it. So it was really kind of frustrating. So, excuse me. Um, but I did stay friends with a lot of those people. So when I stayed friends with all of them, I just simply said, hey, I'm the investor realtor. If you ever get a property that you don't know what to do with, now this property is a perfect example. There's a broken window in the front. I mean, it just looks like somebody threw a rock through it. So that's interesting. The AC doesn't work, and he's just like, we're getting divorced. I don't want to have to fix anything. So that immediately disqualifies him for FHA, VA, all of those loan programs. So he's going to have to sell it to somebody either with a very loose conventional loan or somebody that's an investor. And they told him that, and they go, hey, I have an investor friend. Let me call him over. They called me yesterday. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. Showed up to the house, went and took a look at it. I'm already a little bit nervous, but I'm not going to tell you why. Okay, so what's interesting is whenever you're in Propelio, if this is what you want to use, and again, I can add as many free people as I want. So if you're watching this recording, send me your email and I'll add you. But it tells me, okay, here's the office, here's the address, ownership, occupied. There's no MLS listing found. I don't know why the map isn't working right now. Normally it does work, at least the satellite view. There's something with my video card in here or something. I don't know. It doesn't like it. But here's the house. Okay, cute. Oh, that's not it. Is it? No, this is the house, I think. No, wait, it's on the other side of the street. It's no,
I think you might
this
be
is it.
on Mission Vista. Did you say it
Oh,
was
that is
Mission
Mission
View?
Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Mission View. Thank you. I was like, that doesn't look right at all. Oh, we are in the wrong 2307 Mission View. Whoopsie. Thank you. Good catch. That looks more like it. Okay. So here's the house. When I walked in, I noticed immediately somebody ran into that garage door going about 20 miles an hour. That garage door is gone. I mean, it's still physically there, but there is no way you're going to be able to save that thing. And the other thing I noticed immediately is it looked like somebody thrown a rock through this window right there. So there's two things right when I walked in the door. The rest of it looked about like this. I think the grass was a little dead or whatnot. Who cares? So before I do anything else with this property, the first thing I need to do is I need to find out what I think it's worth. What I like about Propelio, okay, this one does say 3.2 and it's got a half bath. 6 total rooms, 1,600 square feet, 2005. I was right. Um, And you can also go through here and see if there's any other liens, land info, tax info, all of that stuff, or if he's in foreclosure. He's not. But it says this is kind of like a Zestimate at 221 a square. 221 is what it's saying. On the high end, 250. On the low end, it's going to be 192. But it's figuring $1.35 a square foot. So if I click run comps, this actually is an IDX website. So it pulls everything from the MLS, and it's going to be looking for anything that is sold or is currently on market. I like that. You can actually sort it if you want to. Oh crap, I forgot. Normally there's a little map over here. But there's this stupid laptop. There's something going on with the video card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to look real quickly for anything that looks similar. So here's a 3, here's a 4.2, that's bigger. Here's a 4.2, 4.2, here's a 3.2 that's on market. So the only things I'm going to be able to use are going looks like it's going to be these two right here. And we can go in here and take a look. By the way, in this house, so this looks like a very, very, very similar build. Okay. He did put in hardwood flooring in the bottom, which is nice. The kitchen had tile. Okay, real quick. Sorry, I need to explain things that I see. This immediately tells me that this bedroom is on the second floor. You can tell by looking out the window. Okay. And this is the master, it looks like. Master's is upstairs. You can go in the MLS and figure that out, but if you're smart, you can figure out just by clicking buttons. This looks almost identical. This looks almost identical. My cabinets were light brown. It had an uglier Formica top. Yep, this is the exact same build. That's the half bath under the stairs. They did pour in my house a bigger slab back here, which is kind of nice. It didn't have a shed. Yep. All the carpet in the bedrooms has got to go. And other than that, I probably need to replace both the showers. They don't look like that at all. They look like this and a lot rougher. The good news is 3-piece surround bathtubs are actually pretty cheap, so it's not too big of an ask. By the way, guys, as a realtor tip, do not leave your ceiling fans on when you're taking photos. It does not look good. It's distracting. Yeah, this is, and look, guys, as I'm looking, if you're looking out the windows too, you can tell that all these bedrooms are on the second floor. So everything's upstairs. This is just the downstairs. This is almost a perfect comp. I love that, except it's got 4 bedrooms and not 3. It listed for 233. Let's look at my lot's bigger. Sold for 135 a square foot after 4 months. Sold back in March. They listed it for 223. They got 223. All right. Next one. 225. I'm just going to look through this again. Looks very, 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 very similar. Okay. All the bedrooms are upstairs. There's no way that backyard is that green, but we'll let them have it. Very similar house. All bedrooms upstairs, 3-story. I like that one too. This one sold for 225. It listed it for 225. It sold for 225 after a month. Love it. Let's add that one as a comp. We'll check that one off. And then last but not least is this green one here. And this looks like our big competition. And this one is listed for, hello, thank you, 280. Okay, this one's got a little bitty porch. Oh, I hate those side door entrances. I think they're so stupid. So if you notice, this has got archways, which usually cost a little bit more. The flooring looks good, higher end furniture. That right there is your problem. And that is some expensive furniture. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Shed, skulls. Okay, I'm going to say overall this is a nicer house, so I don't think I'm ever going to get to 280. I just don't think it's built as nice. So I'm really not going to even consider that one. So when I'm done, I come in here and I do a report, and it says the sales estimate is 225, 220, or 215, 225. We go in here and we look at this. All right. Let's look. Sorry. So the square footage is about the same as mine. Acres are about the same. List price, days on market range from a month to 4 months. All right. I'm going to take a lot of this stuff into account. So let's take a look at the calculator. So let's say this house will sell for 225. That's what I'm going to list it at. I'm going to be happy. 225. First thing I do, guys, is I figure out 75%. First thing I do. Most every single realtor is going to do that first thing. Now that puts us at 168. Now I have to figure out what I think I'm going to spend in rehab on this thing. Let's go back through. No, I don't want that. Let's do. Where is. There it is. So let's make a quick little spreadsheet and I'll tell you all the things that I saw. And then I want y'all to guess and tell me what you think it's going to cost to do these things. All right. First things first. Fix broken window. What else did I see downstairs? Oh, fix garage door. After that, I'm going to say paint cabinets. They were that kind of yellowish wood tone that's very popular in the late 90s, early 2000s. Not so much popular now. And we'll say replace countertops because those colors were ugly. I might be able to paint it something that works. So this is going to be a question mark. Upstairs, replace all carpet on stairs and upstairs. Two 3-piece surround bathtubs. New AC. It was by the way, guys, when you open up that cabinet where the air handler is for future reference, there's a little plate on it somewhere, usually the bottom or way up at the top. And if you go on there, it'll tell you the manufacture date of that air conditioner. And that's important to know. Now, when I opened it up, I was excited because it was a Trane air conditioner and it looked really clean. And I found the manufacturing date and it said 2006. So we've got almost a 20-year-old air conditioner that's not working. You probably can repair it, but it's going to be a lot of bubble gum and duct tape. And then it's just going to break again in 6 months. So you might as well just replace the thing. What else did I want to do? So we need touch-up paint. I don't think I need to paint the entire house, but they put in their own crown molding and they painted it and it looked like shit. So I just need to go through and touch up the paint. And let's see what else. Man, I really think that's about it. The backyard was good. Landscaping was good. Downstairs bathroom was good. Repaint. That was like blue or something. But I'm going to say that's about it. So real quick, how much do you think it costs to fix a broken window?
Like $300.
I'm going to round up. Okay, real quick, let's back up one more time. This house looks like, I bet you we could figure it out who built it. It's probably in here.
My guess is KB Homes, based by the way it looked.
It's either KB or Lennar, one of the two, right?
Yeah.
That was my guess too. So, but one of the nice things about that, guys, I know you're like, oh, I don't want to have to do a home like that. Hold on a second. Because that home, excuse me, those windows are probably standard size windows, right? I can go to Home Depot and find another window of that exact dimension, which means I can buy it for about $200. Okay, if I can buy a window at Home Depot, it's about $200. Also, these were double pane windows. Okay, if you break a double pane window, even if it's only one pane, do not replace the glass. Okay, because in between those two sheets of glass, they actually put a gas in there, which helps dissipate heat, makes the home more efficient, blah, 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 blah. Once you break it, they're never going to be able to reseal it. If it's a single pane window, I usually just replace the glass. But if you don't fix the whole window, those windows will, they start to get real foggy because they're not sealed properly. And you'll just get this like coat of calcium on the inside of the window that you cannot clean off because you can't get to it. And then plus it's in the front of the house, it's going to look like hell. So might as well just replace it. So I'll say Sorry, Matt said about 300 bucks. I'm actually going to round up a little bit. And I'm going to say 400, $200 to get the window, $200 to install it. So we're going to say 400 bucks for that window. Jessica's probably going to tell me 500, but that's fine. Fix the garage door. Interesting. How much to replace a garage door? Well, there's multiple parts to a garage door, right? I'm assuming how bad that thing was broken. It was a single aluminum garage door. So it just means one sheet of aluminum. And then there's the rails that it goes up on. When somebody runs into those things, it tends to bend the hell out of those rails because they're not very strong. So I probably need to replace the rails and the garage door itself. Again, I can probably just go to Home Depot and pick this up because it looks like a KB home build and it's probably very standard. So I'm going to say right now, replacing those two parts is probably about $500 worth of parts. And well, that means screw it. Let's look it up real quick. I like this. We're learning today. Let's see if I'm right. Garage door. Garage door, 16 by 7 foot. You can also get insulated garage doors, which make sure the garage not get so hot, which is really nice. There's $500 for that garage door. Let's price them low to high because I am not putting a nice garage door in this home. So I was right, 500 to 933. So that's for the door. And then if we get the railings, it's probably about another 200 bucks plus fixing all that stuff, which I'm going to say is about 400 bucks. So 500, 200, 400. We're at 12. What is that? 1,100 bucks. $1,100. Now the reason why I'm saying 1,100, guys, because if I don't have to replace the garage door opener, that looked fine to me. So that should be good. Paint the cabinets. Depends on how well you want to paint them, but I'm going to say that's about 800 bucks because of the number of cabinets. Replace countertops. Interesting question. Anybody have any ideas on countertops or have any thoughts or questions about this before I start going on my rant?
I guess it depends on what type of countertop you put in. Because is this going to be for a flip or are you going to like hold it?
That's a great question. So now here's the problem with that question, because here's the thing. All of those homes that we saw in there had Formica countertops, right? All the homes that sold. So do I want to have the nicest house in the neighborhood? I don't know. Replacing Formica countertops is significantly cheaper than replacing them with something like granite or quartz. So I would probably stick with the same type, and I'm probably actually going to honestly hold off on it because the countertops looked really nice, but the color, they were like a greenish gray. And I'm wondering if I can paint the cabinets a color that will complement them. So that way I don't have to replace them. So a little bit of foresight, I can actually save myself some money. So we just got to come up with, it's probably a gray, a very light gray, something like that. We'll figure it out. All right, replace all carpet on stairs and upstairs. So how much upstairs is there? Anybody want to guess? The answer's there. It's a 1,612-foot square house that's 2 stories. The
So,
carpet
like,
was
half of
only
that.
upstairs. The carpet was only upstairs, about 800 square feet. Plus, we need to carpet the stairs as well. Okay. Now, if I'm going to turn this into a rental, I'm definitely not carpeting the stairs. That's the first place to go to shit. And then I'm going to replace it every 2 years. I'm going to change those out and I'm going to put some sort of faux wood, something or other there. So the stairs with faux wood is going to be about $1,000 to replace the remaining carpet up there. I'm going to say about another $2,000. Just to make sure I can get some decent carpet. So I'm going to say about $3,000 to do the stairs and carpet. 2 3-piece surround bathtubs. Woohoo! Hold on a second. Oh, there's a leak here in the office. That's funny. One moment, please. I'm going to video this so I can send it to Logan. Da-da-da. Got a roof leak in here. I was wondering what that noise was. All right. Sorry, we're going to come back over here. 3-piece surround. Industry term. It's a bathtub. It goes all the way around and it comes in 3 pieces. Pretty easy. So look, $300. If you want the one with all the stuff in it, costs more. So yeah, you can pick these up for about 300 bucks. I can usually find them a little bit cheaper. You know, that inflation is getting everybody. So these are probably going up a little bit since I bought one. Here's one for 239. We're going to round up and say 400. That's a standing surround. You got to make sure you got one with a bathtub or you'll be too tall. I'm not going to replace the bathtubs because they look fine. So I'm going to say let's say $400 for the surround. It's probably about another $400 to rip it out and put it back in. I'm going to round up to 1,000, and I need to do that twice. And by the way, I'm going to add in a toilet too. It's about 250 bucks. It's $100 for the toilet plus about 100 to install it. New HVAC, guys. I'm just going to save you the time. It's going to cost me about $6,000. Depending on the size of the HVAC, depending on the square footage. I'm assuming this is about a 4-ton because it's 1,600 square feet, probably a 3-ton actually. So, and I don't need to replace the ducts. So everything looked good in there. I'm going to say it's about $6,000. Touch-up paint. This is interesting. Jessica and I get in a lot of fights about touch-up paint. And the reason why we do is because if I say, hey, touch up the paint in that wall right behind Matt, that wall looks like it's got kind of a beige greenish hue, right? In order for me to find that exact color, so I can just go through and touch up paint and not have it be half a shade off. We've all been in a house where that's half a shade off. Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. I got to be honest with you. So we do get in a lot of fights with that. So what I'm saying on this one is the paint on the walls looked fine. I'm going to want to repaint the crown molding, and that's usually some version of white. So that's a lot easier to fix. So running around the house, touching up paint on the white, I'm really guessing on this and doing the downstairs because this isn't a good formula. I'm just going to say another $2,000 because I'm going to replace that entire downstairs bathroom, which is kind of small and paint. And repaint the downstairs bathroom. We'll just say that's all in the paint. So we're going to delete that one. So, man, that's a pretty easy rehab. 15 grand in rehab. Okay, I like that. Another thing that I always tell everybody is every $15,000, I just imagine a month. Okay, if it takes $15,000, it will take me a month to rehab it. If it's $30,000, it's probably going to take me 2 months. If it's $50,000, probably 3 months. It just takes time to get through all the permits. Now, the nice thing about this is the only thing that needs to be permitted on this is going to be the broken window. And guys, windows are inside of the frame. It is a framing permit. It sucks, but you got to go get that permit. And the other one is going to be the HVAC. I'm not worried about the HVAC permit because the technician will pull that. And the other one to fix the broken window, that should be pretty easy. Actually, guys, and you can choose not to pull the permit. It's a really bad idea and just try and change it really quick. Because if the city of San Antonio catches you, what you're thinking, how are they going to catch me? They have groups of people that wander the streets like little gangsters, and they look for people doing housework. And if they catch you, that's called a strike team. If the strike team catches you, they shut the power off to your house because they assumed you're going to blow the house up. And then you have to like literally get permits for everything. They're like, well, how do we know you didn't replace the plumbing? Cut the wall open and let me see it. It's like, really? So that's the crap that happens. So do not get cute with pulling permits. It's a dangerous game to play.
Just a quick story on that, because when I was getting my HVAC installed in my last house, when the city inspector came out to, do the final inspection, he was telling me, now this was a few years ago, so I don't know if they still do this. He was telling me they had people, a new team that was looking on the MLS to see like what the house looked like before and then after, if it had been listed on there. And if they saw changes that weren't permitted, they were going to go back and then make them do exactly what you said. Open up the wall, show us what you did. So I always err on the side of pull the permit. Yeah.
Guys, it's terrible. I've got a client right now that's trying to get me to sell his house. He was trying to refinance it, and the strike team hit him right when he was doing it because his contractor lied to him, and he told him he got permits, but he never did. And now this guy can't sell it. He can't refinance it. He's about to get foreclosed on it. And it's a terrible situation, guys. Don't get hit by the strike team. It's just not worth it. But if you pull your permits, you can give them all kinds of help. So about 15 grand. All right. So we're at 15 grand. We're going to go back and take a look at this. I'm going to subtract $15,000. And there it is, 153,750 is what I would offer. Here's the problem. Okay. Let's go back through here. I'm going to look at something else. Anybody a fan of bigger pockets? I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of these guys. So I'm planning on flipping this. Sorry, guys. I'm planning on flipping this. Now, Colin, why are you planning on flipping this? What makes this a flip versus a rental? I actually love this thing as a rental, but I don't have any money right now. Like the coffers are low, so I need to go flip some houses to get the coffers back up. Might even wholesale it, but I don't think I can, and I'm about to explain why. I don't know what this is. Go away. How do I do this? Okay, good. All right. I like this little calculator, guys. You can make your own. You don't need to use this one. It's fast for me. All right. And I'll show you why. So we're going to take a quick look at these numbers. 2307 mission. What was it? Mission what?
View. Mission view.
Mission view. There you go. See, this one says Vis. This is Vista again?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh. Yeah, it should be mission view. Now it's saying 221. Not helping. All right. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. So what I like about this is it doesn't allow me to forget anything. So I can say it's a single family. It's a 3, 2.5. That's roughly 1,600 square feet. It was built in 2005. Don't worry about that. After repair value, what do we come up with? 225, right?
Yep.
Is that what we're thinking? Desired profit. This is what I don't like is it kind of works backwards, but let's say 25%. Let's say 30 grand. I want to make 30 grand. How much am I? What are the purchase closing costs? Guys, that's a tough one to figure out. Quick math in my head is I just do 1.5%. That's what I just kind of think my closing costs are going to be. It does vary, guys, how you write up the contract, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say 175,000 times 0.015. It's 1.5%. We'll say it's 2,600 in closing costs. Repair costs, we just figured out was going to be about $15,000. Holding cost, good question. Guys, whenever you get a hard money loan, they will give you a loan for the, let's say I try to buy this at 175. What they do is they want me to put 10% down. So that's 17,500. And they usually charge 12% interest. And then they charge, usually it's like $1,500 and some bullshit fees. Okay. And we're also going, so we're going to take this. Oops, that's too many zeros. All right, so that's where we're going to be at. I need to come up with $17,000. So my loan amount is going to be the purchase price minus whatever I put down, which is 157.5. Plus, they will also lend you the rehab money. So if I have 15,000 in rehab money, I'm now going to add that to my loan amount. So 172.5. Now, so I'm going to get a loan of about 172.5, and they're charging me 12% interest. They're typically interest-only loans. I like it when it's 12% interest, not because I like paying 12% interest, because it keeps the math easy. That means I'm paying 1% per month. So what's 1% of 172,000? It's $1,725 per month is what my holding cost will be. So I'm gonna round that up to 1,800 a month just because I'd rather err on that side. How long will it take me to rehab and sell this property? How long did I say it was going to take to rehab?
So real quick though, you wouldn't include your origination fees and all that in the holding costs too?
It's not a holding cost. That's a closing cost. So you're
Okay.
right. I probably need to bump. You're right. I didn't think about that. No, yeah. Let's bump that up to 3 grand because that's going to be that's just the loan package. It's not
Right.
something I'm paying to hold, because if I put it in the holding cost, it's going to calculate that every single month. It's going to screw my numbers up. So how long did I said it's going to take us? About a month, right? It's going to take us about 4 weeks to rehab it. And how long do you think it's going to take us to sell it? Well, one sold in a month, one sold in 4 months. I'm a pessimist. I'm going to say 3 months. So I'm going to bump this entire thing out to 4 months. A month to rehab it, 3 months to sell it. Agent commission. Well, I usually don't pay myself, so I'm just going to put 3% in there. That helps me get that a little bit better. My closing costs on the selling side are going to be roughly the same, more or less. Let's go figure out this analysis. Maximum allowable offers 159. So what's interesting, what I like about this is I'm just like, okay, well, if it only takes me 3 months, I can offer 161. If it takes me 2 years to do it, I can only offer 123. So 161, what was my number over here? Y'all remember what my number was? I said it was worth 225.
I think it was like 158 or something like that.
75% minus 15,000. Oops. That wasn't right. Damn it. 225. I hate that my laptop doesn't have a 10 keypad. Minus 15,000. 153 plus $15. So we'll say 154. We'll round up easy for just easy math. This says 155. Guys, that's why I have that little calculation in my head to figure this out. And this is saying I'm going to be making, the other game is it's saying I'm going to make $30,000. And that's after everything. So Colin, what if I say I only want to make $20,000? All right, let's go edit that. You're like, Colin, that's a lot of money. Sure is. But it starts to make things a little bit dangerous. What if I get in there and I find a chupacabra or something behind the walls? You got to pay for mythical creature extraction. Okay. I'm sure that's expensive. So now it's telling me I can offer 170. All right. Now I got to tell you the part that's going to make me sad, and possibly you as well, is before I left, the realtor showed me that some guy wrote an offer sight unseen for $200,000. That makes me a little bit sad. Now, because of that, I'm honestly not even going to write up an offer, because at $200,000, guys, there is no way I'm going to be making any money. None whatsoever. Because 200 to 225, and if I'm paying 3% commission, that's 6,000 of it. I got to put in a new HVAC, that's 6,000 of it, and I have to repair the window and the floors because otherwise it won't get a loan. I'm already upside down. There's just no way that's going to work. So that also leads me to believe that the other guy doesn't know anything's wrong with it. So what I'm going to do instead of writing up this contract is I'm going to call this other realtor and I'm going to say, hey, man, I don't know how he's getting to 200,000, but I'm going to be somewhere around 165. Consequently, there we go. All right, let's see if we can get his number. All right, does anybody find any properties from last week that they want to talk about?
Actually, if we want to look at properties, there's this one in New Braunfels I was looking at that's on the MLS. They just dropped the price. We find the address.
Is it the one on Bridge? Is it on Bridge Street by chance?
Let me look. It's over near Schlitterbahn. So I don't think so.
Tell me the address. Let's look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
I'm starting to freak out here.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah.
I did receive the invite for Portfolio, but it's asking me for password.
I don't
It
know.
says reset password.
Yeah, you put in a new password there is what it's saying to do.
Oh, okay, okay.
It confused me too. It confused me too.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
like, no.
okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
If you could just read it out loud for all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
No, your password is Colin is awesome. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's what I was gonna put.
All right, what's the address, Matt?
All right, it's 450 Washington Avenue.
No, that is not the one I've been looking at. Let's look at it together.
It's on the MLS, but
Is it in Sabor or is it in Central
yeah,
Texas?
Sabor. Yeah. For some reason, it never like, yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, it went south.
Ooh. See, if it's got MLS photos, it's going to pull it in from the MLS. I don't even have to go to the MLS.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk. Stop me and ask questions.
Now, one
First
thing I
thing
will mention is it's on here it's only showing a 1 bath, but according to the listing, it's got a 2 baths. I will mention that, but that's all.
Yeah, okay, cool. So it's a 4-2, 1,700 square feet. Guys, real quick, 4 bedrooms and 1,700 square feet means the bedrooms are going to be relatively small. It's about a 1/10 of an acre lot. No, it's more than that. Quarter acre lot. Yeah, 0.21. No pool, 1 stories. First thing I noticed, guys, this roof looks a little bit rough. It could just be dirty or it could be bad. I don't know. I can't tell from this photo. Second thing I noticed, whenever you see these shingles on the outside of the house, it looks like
Asbestos.
it
Yeah.
looks like planks, but it's actually asbestos.
Yeah.
And you can tell right here. They're
Yeah.
usually ridged, like going down this way. They're planks about this big. Everybody hears the word asbestos and freaks out because of all the lawyer commercials. Guys, asbestos siding is actually really good because it's fire retardant. It's really a good insulator. It's not a problem unless you start popping them off and you create the dust and you inhale the dust. If you leave it alone, you're fine. The problem, though, is it's very brittle. So if it gets hit by a rock or something, you'll tend to see a lot of them broken down here. This might even be a break here. Where rocks get thrown from lawnmowers, it'll break these tiles down low. So you got to replace them. They're getting harder and harder to find. As of right now, the only place I can find it, God bless San Antonio, is down at Guadalupe Lumber on the south side. I love the south side. Pretty straightforward house, A-frame. It looks like it's got popcorn ceilings. You see this little water stain here?
Yeah.
What that tells me, guys, remember, cold air creates condensation. That's why your drink sweats. It's because it's making the air around it cold and it's pulling the water out of the air. What that's telling me is that there's a leak in the ductwork and it's pulling in the hot air from the attic and cooling it down really quick, and it's causing it to drip. More than likely, that's the problem. It also could be a roof leak, but it's kind of suspicious that it's right next to that. So you might have to do a little duct repair on that to prevent that from happening. Definitely needs new pictures. Texture looks fine. I'd probably paint it. There's a little crack right here. Leads me to believe there's a little foundation. This paneling makes me nervous because that's really old school. It tends to be really thin wood, and when you pop it off, there's nothing behind it. So you're going to have to go get drywall. And adding drywall, that means you got to buy the drywall, tape, texture, float, paint. I mean, all that stuff comes with it. So it kind of adds up quickly if you want to get rid of that. These cabinets are old as snot. What I do like about these cabinets is they're usually made out of like oak or some other really hard wood. So they're usually in really good shape. They're just kind of ugly and dated. Sometimes you can save them with paint. Another idea, guys, is you can buy, cabinet doors. So there's, the cabinet door store. That's what it is. I couldn't think of it. I'm just stupid. But you guys, you can just go here and buy new doors that have some beveling and whatnot. It's $33, $50, depending on the size, right? So you can just reface them, which tends to make it look a lot more modern and it saves you a lot of money. Where am I at? So that's probably what I would do. I don't know. Let's see what this all looks like. It's a lot more. Good Lord. Is it just one? You said it's 2 bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things, guys, there's the second one. One of the things that I think is really stupid is that people that put pedestal sinks in a primary bathroom, as you can tell, there's nowhere to put your toothbrush, all that kind of stuff. It creates a problem. So I would probably rip that out and I would put in a traditional vanity. And the vanity I would put in would be something very similar to the vanity here. You can buy those at Home Depot. They're like $300. And I would put that, I'd slap that in here. Now this one in this bathroom, because this looks more like the master, I would probably try and see if I could find a double vanity. You can plumb those, you can work it in. You got to kind of have to jerry rig it, but it does work. You're going to need to frame the mirror. I mean, this house needs a lot of work. And the reason why, because I have to make it modern, because the first thing I notice is it's saying it's worth $420,000. and they're selling it for 250. So they're selling it roughly 180 below or 170 below market. And that means we got to put a lot of work into it. Having to touch everything, guys, I think I remember I said $17 a square foot, right? That was what I said last week. If I got to go through and just prettify everything, I have to do more than that. Okay. So I'm going to assume there's a roof. This roof will probably cost about $6,000-7,000. This shed back here, guys, I probably would just knock it over and get rid of it. It's nice to have a shed. It becomes a liability issue if I can't get financing because it's leaning down and it has a sheet for a door. So it's like, I really don't want a raccoon house. So that's probably going to go. I might keep that one. They may take it with them when they buy it. This I'd really want to get a closer look at. This makes me nervous, but I like that it's got some kind of carport. What am I doing? Okay. So including this paneling and the walls and possibly replacing the cabinets. So this cabinet replacement, guys, oh, this is a tricky one, Matt. I like it. Because I have to think like a $420,000 house if that's what I'm going to get out of it. So I'm probably not going to resurface the doors. I need to replace the countertops. Does the AC work? Do you know? Have you seen a seller's disclosure?
Let's see, seller's disclosure.
Where? If my computer shuts off, I'm sorry, guys. It looks like it's trying to do an update and I didn't tell it to.
Oh man, it's like handwritten.
Perfect.
Something about water damage in the ceiling, which you saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Foundation, we saw that.
Does it say anything about it possibly being the roof or?
It just says several, man, this is like handwritten. Ceilings, several water damage. Oh, I can barely even read it. It's like terrible handwriting. Mentions the roof, maybe some electrical, a couple of the outlets not working. Let me see anything about that.
And they don't have a picture of the fuse box or anything like that.
Detached shed needs door. Yeah, got a sheet.
Called it. It's 1949 build, so it's probably got cast iron plumbing.
Yeah.
And 1949, they probably have a fuse box too. If
Maybe.
I've got to include an
Yeah.
electrical upgrade, I'm not even going to consider the plumbing right now. Honestly, guys, like if this was me, I'm going to be making, let me ask y'all, I'm probably thinking I'm close to about $25 a square foot plus about another 20 grand in nonsense. Okay. Because I got about 6,000 for the roof, another 6,000 for that, and about 10. So let's say 25 grand for nonsense, because it's probably going to cost me 10 grand to get an electrician in there to fix the fuse box and fix the plugs that aren't working. They're probably not grounded. I can already hear what's going on, but so let's do the math on that. How many square feet was it, Matt?
Like 1760.
I'm going to say $25 a square foot. 44,000 plus another 25. And in this example, oops.
Wow.
44 plus 25, $70,000. Plus, I'm going to add in 10% on this one just so I'm in the ballpark. Okay, 10% of just kind of slush fund. All right. So if it is let's just say the rehab is 80 grand. Okay, I'm rounding up on a lot of stuff. The reason why is I really need to get in and fill this one. All right. But at 80 grand, I can start talking. And if it is truly worth 420, just because we're running out of time, I'm not going to run comps. You should know how to run comps. But I'm just going to make that assumption. 235. What were they asking?
250.
We're
kind of close.
We are pretty damn close. and I may be wrong on something. So what I would do if it was me and I was going to go out there and flip this house, I'd double check days on market because that can kill you. New Braunfels is a weird neighborhood. Everybody wants to be in New Braunfels, but everybody wants the cute Victorian looking house that's on, you know what I mean? And it takes them a while to realize that maybe I need to buy the one down the street on Washington. But we're pretty close. So what I would do is if it was me, I would schedule a showing for this as soon as I possibly could. And I would get my contractor and go out there with me. I'd spend about 30 minutes of the house and I'd walk through and I'd take a more detailed list with my contractor because honestly, I'm going to need some ideas. It looks like it flows pretty well as a house. Because this would be the living room down here, and then you come into this little dining room. I can't figure out where the bedrooms fall into this. So wait, there's the fridge. The hell's the fridge in this picture?
Looks like it's in that hallway.
See what I'm saying? So like now I need to figure like the fridge is in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Let's talk about that, right? So there might be some games in making the house.
Like we can figure it a little bit.
Yeah. So, but we're pretty close. So I wouldn't just blindly write an offer on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would want to see it first personally. Yeah. If I did write a blind offer on it, I would assume 100,000 in rehab. And I'd write the offer up for like whatever that comes out to, 210, and just see if they bid on it. But I can tell you right now, how many days on market has it been?
Like 43.
Yeah, so everybody else, I guarantee you're not the first one to find it.
Oh no.
If it's been sitting around for 43 days in New Braunfels, a lot of people have looked at it. There's something going on.
Well, they just dropped the price too. I've been watching this one for a little while. Yeah, they started out like 350, I think is what they were asking originally.
Mm-hmm.
And then they dropped it to 300 and then 250. The house next to it is listed for like 4 something. No, 625. So there's 2 houses in the neighborhood that are listed at around 620. There's a comp like Rehab that sold for around 400. So I feel like that 400, 420 price is probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, I know where Washington is. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's right across. It's right by the new part of Schlitterbahn, the second where Master Blaster is and all
Look at you talking like a pro,
that.
knowing where the Master Blaster is. Let's see what he's talking about. Guys, I'm sorry. If you are in Propelio, I know you can see it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It does not show up on my laptop, and I don't know why. It drives me crazy. This one sold for $279. That's way more modern. Oh, that's a 1945. See, that's what scares me about this house. Matt, if it was me, like I'm not saying like I'm not scared of it per se. There we go. But am I going to have to get this cute with it? Because this is around the same time. Am I going to have to add all this front stuff on or change the front elevation somehow? Because you want to start getting into things. And this is where I got to get it to, guys. That's a nice touch adding in the curtains. This is really smart. I know y'all are thinking, oh, it's got all these can lights. Those are LED lights. They're cheap as hell. They're about $30 a piece. They look really classy. They eat up very little electricity, so I doubt you have to get new, you know what I mean? It's really clever. Now notice, guys, this is a good flipper here. I mean, that little mint color with the white and the grays, it all works really well. Dark gray, black splash. This open shelving, I don't know why people do that. I know it looks cool, but that's got to be a functional nightmare. Stacking all your glasses right there.
Get all dusty.
Yeah, exactly. Barn doors for the bathrooms and the closets. I love these floor tiles. I love that more and more people are doing it. Super nice tile, right? This is not a 3-piece surround, guys. That is a hand tile. This right here probably cost about $1,500. This is not cheap, not including the tub or the plumbing. Like just the tile. That's probably $1,500. I don't know why they charge so much for tiling vertically. Oh, and it's got a nice little outdoor seating area. I mean, this is a cute house.
Yeah.
They fixed up the garage in the back. They painted it to match the colors. That looks like they didn't do a whole lot in here, but at least it looks good. It's so funny. I don't know many flippers that really work on those outbuildings. All right. What are they? They're trying to get 330 for that one, but it's a 21775.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
the
also been
problem.
on the market for 3 months. So they're about to
Yeah,
drop.
the two ones scare me.
Oh, I don't like flipping 2-1s.
Yeah. Unless
See,
it's
look,
like a rental, maybe.
even then, because you get somebody without kids and they become flaky as hell, they can move out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, true.
Let's look at this bad boy. So, guys, this is immediately disqualified as a comp, but I am going to look at it because I kind of see the style and the architecture of what people are doing out here. It's like, man, and that's the problem with New Braunfels. You can't half-ass flip anything in New Braunfels. You got to come with it. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy. Why? I swear to God, I'm clicking it. Pretty. Okay, so like this one right here, I mean, the front elevation's pretty standard. I mean, nice door, nice side windows. Fireplace is good. Do not like this change in flooring. I feel like that looks weird, but that's personal preference. Yeah, look, they did all this stuff on the house, but they still have these 1990s cabinets. I would have painted them at least. They do look good though. And there's no hardware on them either. I just like, why would you not change out your switch plate covers?
Wow.
Dude, that's it. Like I'm telling you,
Oh,
like, have you noticed they
so
got bronze door handles like this?
like nothing
This-
matches.
Yeah, it's such an easy. I mean, this is a $40 handle. This, the faceplates cost $3.
Those are like $1. Yeah.
Yeah, like just fix it. Now, okay, guys, here's a good example of the old-timey cabinets that have been repainted and hardware put in. Looks nice, doesn't match the granite they decided to put on top of it. This weird 1950s shower, which you see in a lot of houses if you're paying attention. So this to me was just like a lipstick flip. They didn't really go above and beyond here. They just made sure everything looked good, clean, fresh coat of paint. I mean, look, they even left like the bronze door handles everywhere. We didn't paint the cabinets. We left the popcorn ceiling in here. It's not mean it's bad. It just they came through and threw some lipstick on it and staged it virtually. Totally different. 365. It's been on the market for 196 days. So I'm going to tell you right now, 290 a square feet might be much because that's a 3.2.
Oh, it's really small too. It's only 1200,
Yeah,
1250.
but 500 square feet making up that $100,000 difference or whatever,
Yeah.
$65. That makes me real nervous. I'm glad to see my computer's having a seizure. I'm sticking with my thing. This one sold at 400.
Yeah, that's the one that I had seen also.
And so notice I put these awnings in. Look at that. Doesn't that look a hell of a lot better than
Yeah.
yours? So you might have to match that. And that looks like cedar.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know cedar's expensive right now. But it does look sharp. I do like the way that looks. Oh, another good flipper here. Guys, and I say that with all sincerity because I mean, this is pretty standard. Agreeable gray, white. I like the blue
Yeah.
door and the blue stage, bringing in that blue thing, but that was probably the stager. I mean, this looks like a Colin flip. This looks like something I would do. Oh, I like that vent hood. Laundry room right there. Okay. I mean, if you notice, they left the paneling in here.
Yeah, they just painted it.
They just painted it and put a backsplash in here. I don't know why there's that open wire. Seems dangerous, but especially in a place with a 240 right here and lots of water. But whatever. See, and you can also tell, guys, I hardly ever leave carpet anywhere. The reason why I said carpet for the other one, because I knew it was going to be a tight number. This seems really.
You do,
Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
so you would do LVP, or what would you?
I actually really am a big fan of SPC flooring.
Hmm.
It stands for stone polymer composite. It's that click together tongue and groove stuff like the rest of it, but it's made out of basically glue and crushed limestone. So
Really?
if it gets
SPC?
SPC, stone polymer composite,
I'm
and
not familiar with that.
when it gets wet, it doesn't expand. You can sink it underwater
Yeah,
for 10 years and it doesn't pop.
I'll have to
If
look
you've
at
ever
that.
had a rental property and pop these things, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. I mean, yeah, but everything's for sale. Man, I'd be real careful and check the things that have sold. I mean, these sold for
Yeah,
but they're on the water, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about in New Braunfels. That's sold, but that's a brand new
yeah.
build.
New Braunfels is kind of unique.
It's unique. I mean, you could make some good money there, but God, you got to be careful. You could lose a lot too. Yeah, go look at it. That's what I would do. If it was me, I'd go look at it. Where's my screen? I'm gonna stop doing that. All right, guys. Any more questions? You know what? I'm thinking about doing this more than once a week. Y'all want me to I realize it's just you guys that are on here right now, but I mean, if I came on and did this for an hour or two every day, would y'all be in and just talking, walking, burning through it?
I'm down.
Matt, where do you live?
I live near Bulverde,
Okay, yeah, you're a little too far out to just come in for that.
but I might. I mean, I might.
Mauricio, are you in Stone Oak?
No, Westover Hills, Alamo Ranch area.
Yeah.
1604. Yeah.
I know where you're at. Oh, in Alamo Ranch or Westover Hills, like by the golf course?
Well, yeah, Westover Hills by the golf course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to, that apartment with the windmill right there?
Yeah.
I lived in those apartments for 2 years
Okay.
when I was teaching, and I had two female roommates. It was Three's Company. It was this.
Oh, wow.
It was just so interesting because the three of us, we were all teachers. We did not know each other before we moved in together. We kind of met each other and like, oh, well, let's try it out. And you could not have put three more different people together. It was just so. That was a wild time. I'll have to get a beer and tell you all about it. One of the ladies would sit in a sauna, like she had one of those little saunas that comes up to your head like this, and she would sit out, and I can't remember whatever show was popular at the time, Bachelor, God only knows. And when that show was on every day or whatever for an hour, she would come out and she would sit in there naked. So she had a towel on and she'd get in there. She would just sit there and just have this big headless or this head. And I was just like, it was just, I don't know. She was also kind of a little, never mind. We'll get beers and talk about it. All right, guys, I got to get to San Marcos. Y'all have fun. I'm going to go look at another property.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm going to start doing this a little bit more frequently. I probably won't do it tomorrow, but maybe Friday. Let me check my schedule.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Y'all be good.
You
All
too.
right,
Thank
see
you.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.